Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Huge warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on what is a slightly damp Monday morning here in the UK. It's wonderful to host another one of our CPD Standards webinars. And as you all come into the session now, just a huge warm welcome to all of you. By all means, drop into the chat where you're dialing in from. It'd be great to say hello to you all and just welcome you to the session, as I've said. So my name is Amanda. I am CEO and co-founder of the CPD Standards Office. We have worked over the last decade to improve CPD standards to ensure high levels of training, working with trainers, working with coaches, working with online educators to produce the best learning experiences that there can be. So I'm really delighted to spend some time with you this morning. And what we try to do with these webinars monthly is ensure that this is CPD for you. CPD for you as the educator, and taking a little bit of time out for you to sit and think about what might be able to be improved within your business, some innovative ideas, and potentially being able to network and connect with other people in the session today. So I'm delighted to be welcoming Rachel, a key speaker for us, to the session today. And she's going to talk about how you can future-proof your career with AI skills overall. In terms of housekeeping, if we can just keep the chat to welcome in terms of where you're coming in from, that would be great. And then also comments, observations and questions for Rachel as we move through the session. We might pick some of those up as we go along, but we do have some focused time at the end for questions and answers. If you have any queries or any questions about your membership with the CPD Standards Office and our assessment and accreditation process, then please do contact and message our wonderful contact and colleague Kirsty, who is on the call with us today, and shoot messages back and forth to there. In terms of the session itself, it's being recorded and it will be uploaded to the CPD Standards Community Challenge. We'll also circulate the slides, the recording, and the handouts, which Rachel will talk you through during the session, on email to you as well. Now, because it's going to be going onto YouTube, it's up to you whether you keep your cameras on for the session or whether you'd like to turn them off. And that's completely up to you. In terms of background noise, we do ask you to mute your microphone so that, again, we can focus on creating a really, really good learning space today for all of us to come together and learn about this wonderful topic that is so current at the moment. So our time today, as I said, we're going to run for about 50 minutes. It's an hour's long session, and we're going to have time for Q&A at the end. So I'm delighted to welcome Rachel Williams from My AI Courses as one of our guest speakers today. It's an honour and a privilege to work with you, Rachel. I know as CEO and co-founder of your organisation that you really are an expert in all of these different tools and different ways we can look at future-proofing careers and business growth, etc., for professionals and for our community. And so I'm going to give a warm welcome to you and hand over for the session.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Amanda. I just want to say hello and welcome to everyone. Let me start by sharing my screen. I've got some slides to share with you guys. As Amanda mentioned, my name is Rachel Williams, CEO and founder of My AI Courses. I'm excited to be here today to discuss with you how you can future-proof your career by learning and integrating AI skills, even if you don't have a technical background. So let's move on to the next slide. So a little bit about myself. I've spent over 20 years in the professional world, first as a paralegal in compliance. Before I moved to the UK, you might notice my American accent, and made a major career change to tech. And that was a little over 8 years ago. So I started out in software development as a junior front end developer before eventually moving into project management, where I lead global business enhancement projects focused on using technology to drive productivity and efficiency. So what led me onto the path of AI, you might ask? Well, in early 2021, which I refer to as the COVID era, I began researching artificial intelligence, and I quickly realized that the majority of the resources out there at the time were either highly technical or targeted towards computer scientists, which didn't really work for a business professional like myself. So that experience led me to create my AI courses. And we actually launched our flagship course, How to Talk to AI, in February of 2023. So, our mission at My AI Courses is essentially to simplify AI, making it accessible and practical for busy professionals who want to remain competitive in today's tech-driven job market. And our courses are primarily focused on AI prompt engineering. So you might be asking, well, what the heck is prompt engineering? Well, prompt engineering is the skill of creating instructions or prompts for AI tools to get the results you want. So, in simple terms, it's a way to communicate with AI models using plain language. Now, our courses are designed for flexibility. So, whether you're in a full time role or simply interested in upskilling, our online platform allows you to learn at your own pace from anywhere in the world. And we firmly believe that learning is more than just acquiring new skills. It's about building a supportive community of like minded professionals. And our community is at the heart of everything we do. You'll find a network of professionals, learners, and AI experts ready to collaborate, share insights, and support one another. So I would definitely recommend at the end of this webinar to go ahead, check us out at myaicourses.com. So to just go through the objectives for today's webinar, today's webinar is designed to help you understand how to future-proof your career with AI skills. And we'll cover today the key AI skills that are in high demand right now and will continue to be valuable in the future, how you can begin learning AI no matter your current experience level, and how to apply those skills in your current role to make an immediate impact and set yourself apart. On to the next slide. So, when explaining something to someone, I always start with the definition because I believe it's always good to start on the same page. So, in this slide, I have provided the National AI Strategies definition of AI, but essentially, in layman terms, AI is like giving a computer a brain that works similar to ours. And it helps these computers, which are also known as large language models, learn from what they see and do. And that process is called machine learning. And it's similar to how people learn from practicing or studying. So with AI, a computer can understand and talk in human language. And that is what they call natural language processing. And by doing that, they can solve complex problems and essentially do stuff that usually only people can do. So that's a very simplified definition of what AI essentially is. Now, AI is basically transforming every industry from marketing to HR, finance, and healthcare. AI is being used to automate tasks, provide insights through data analysis, and drive decision making, which makes it an absolute game changer for businesses. Now, for business professionals, understanding how to use these AI tools is becoming essential. It's no longer just a nice skill to have, right? If you want to stay relevant in the workforce and advance your career, learning how to leverage AI will definitely put you ahead of the curve. And I can say for me personally, it has certainly bolstered my career over the last 2 years, especially with AI implementation and automation projects. So we're heading into a future where AI will start to become a part of your everyday work life. Those who can harness AI to improve their workflows, drive efficiency, make data informed decisions will be the leaders in their industries. And hopefully, today's session will help you take the first steps to becoming one of those leaders. Okay. Now, as someone with over 20 odd years of experience in business and the last 8 to 9 years driving business initiatives through technology led automation strategies and projects, I can confirm that AI can be incredibly powerful in transforming businesses. However, AI systems are only as good as the data they are trained on, right? So while AI can do things like draft your business plans, help you with marketing strategies, even content creation, it doesn't inherently know your role or business, what your specific goals are, pain points, etc. So it's crucial to understand how to integrate business data strategically into your AI systems and continuously evaluate its output to ensure that it aligns with your needs. Now, when we talk about AI skills, it's important to focus on areas that help professionals take full advantage of these tools. Now, some of those skills include machine learning. Now, machine learning is the ability to understand how machines learn from data and make predictions. Now, this is the core technology of most AI applications. And in my eyes, it's essential for professionals to become familiar with machine learning algorithms, such as supervised and unsupervised learning, to understand how to train models for different tasks. Now, supervised and unsupervised learning refers to two categories of machine learning techniques, which is then used to train AI systems to recognize patterns, make predictions, and improve over time without being explicitly programmed to do so. So with supervised learning, the algorithm is trained on a labeled data set, meaning that each example in the training data has an input and an associated correct output. And the goal of the AI model is to learn the relationship between the inputs and the correct outputs so that it can make accurate predictions on new unseen data. So a common example of this would be training an AI model to classify emails as spam or not spam using pre-labeled examples. Now, with unsupervised learning, this involves training the algorithm on a data set without labeled outputs. And the system has to identify patterns and relationships in the data on its own. And this approach is typically used for tasks like clustering, which is grouping data points with similar features, or association, which is finding hidden relationships in data. And a common example of this would be grouping similar customer behaviors for targeted marketing, also known as clustering. So mastering machine learning as a skill is key to deploying AI solutions that can make predictions, categorize data, and automated decision-making processes. Now, moving on to programming languages. So in my opinion, not every professional is going to be an expert coder, but having a basic knowledge of program languages can be highly beneficial, especially in this age of AI. So Python in particular is extensively used in AI development, and it's helpful for professionals to feel confident writing simple scripts, understanding code, and working collaboratively with developers, data scientists to implement these AI solutions. For instance, as I mentioned, my previous experience as a junior developer has been paramount in my ability to work on SaaS projects and AI implementations. Then we have natural language processing, NLP. And this allows machines to understand and generate human language. So for professionals, this skill involves understanding how machines interpret and respond to human language. And it's if I can say the word, particularly relevant in customer service, content creation, and other areas where language understanding is critical. And last, but definitely not least, data analysis. AI thrives on data. So knowing how to interpret and analyze data is crucial. It helps in feeding the right inputs to AI models and interpreting their outputs correctly. So those at a very high level are the 4 key AI skills currently in demand. And this is according to the Multiverse 2024 AI report. Now, I've dropped in the chat a resource sheet which will have links to a lot of these sources that I will cite, and useful links as we continue to go through the webinar. So I would definitely say at the end of this, reference that for any of the reports that I've mentioned or any courses, etc. That will definitely be helpful for you later down the line. So moving on to the next slide. So with emerging AI skills, as AI continues to evolve, there are emerging skills that will be critical in the next 2 to 3 years. And because the technology is advancing at such a rapid pace, predicting anything outside of that 2 to 3 years would be a little bit silly at this point. So some of these skills that have been highlighted include AI ethics and governance. And as AI becomes more pervasive, the need for professionals who can ensure ethical use and proper governance of AI systems is definitely growing. As I always say, where there's tech, there's a risk of a data breach or cyber attack. So AI regulation is always a hot topic. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive AI law, and it's similar to what the GDPR did in 2018. The EU AI Act ensures that AI systems are transparent and that users are informed about the use of AI in their interactions with companies and organizations. And the law focuses on regulating AI based on risk levels. So I've highlighted that within the slide, but again, you can reference back to that resource sheet where I've put in some links if you want to look into more detail what those risk levels pertain. So then moving on, we've got AI automation and intelligent automation. And these are skills in automating business processes with AI, which will be in high demand, especially as more industries adopt intelligent automation at scale. And then we've got AI for sustainability. As companies are increasingly focusing on using AI to meet their sustainability goals, skills in AI-driven environmental monitoring and optimization will be valuable. And then you've got multimodal AI systems. And these are systems that can process and understand multiple types of data, such as text, images, audio. So developing expertise in integrating these systems will be key for future AI applications. So again, at a very high level, those are the 4 emerging AI skills forecasted to be critical in the next 2 to 3 years. And that is according to the World Economic Forum, the Alan Turing Institute, and the EU Science Hub. So if we move on to the next slide. So as I've stated before, many industries are heavily investing in AI. For example, when you look at healthcare, you've got machine learning models being used for predictive diagnostics, which help doctors make faster and more accurate decisions. Within finance, AI is transforming the way fraud detection and risk assessment is currently done, enabling more secure transactions. Within retail, computers are using computer vision for cashierless stores and NLP for customer service chatbots. Within telecommunications, AI is being used to drive intelligent automation. And one of the case studies that I looked at would be AT&T, which is one of the world's largest telecommunication companies. Now, they have embraced intelligent automation to improve efficiency, enhance customer service, and drive operational savings. They've done this by utilizing robotic process automation, also known as RPA, and using artificial intelligence tools. So the key outcomes that came from their intelligent automation strategy, AT&T saw a 20-time return on investment from its automation efforts by implementing AI-driven tools to handle customer inquiries. AT&T was able to improve response time, reduce errors in company interactions, which resulted in a more seamless customer experience. And their intelligent automation strategy was highly scalable. So they created a bot marketplace, and this allowed employees across the departments to create and implement their own RPA solutions using low-code or no-code platforms. So again, this is a great example of how a company utilized AI with a good strategy, scalable, and they got a very great return on their investment. Now, with all that said, AI is still a work in progress. So, despite all the media hype around AI, everything that you've seen on your social media feeds, heard on the news, the technology available to the public today, and this is including tools like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, etc., is far from this all knowing apocalyptic threat that we often hear about, right? So, for instance, while ChatGPT and other AI tools definitely generate useful insights, automate tasks, they still get things wrong. Very much so. If you go to ChatGPT right now, you'll see a disclaimer that states that, look, the AI still gets things wrong, double check your work. And what this is called is hallucinations. So AI often hallucinates, which means it can produce outputs that sound plausible, but are either factually incorrect or completely irrelevant to the given context. Now, here are 8 examples of AI hallucinations that have made the news. And this makes it even more important as a professional to understand how AI is used, because you need to constantly check that your AI generated outputs align with your business objectives and expectations. And as AI continues to rapidly advance, it's important to stay informed about its latest developments to ensure that you're leveraging it effectively and responsibly. Now, when it comes to learning AI, you have a variety of options depending on your learning style, availability, and budget. And I've listed a few popular resources to help you get started. There are online courses. As you know, my AI courses, our platform specializes in simplifying AI concepts for professionals, focusing on real world application as well as being CPD accredited. And then you've got platforms like Coursera, edX, and Udacity, which offer comprehensive AI courses that range from beginner to advanced levels. You've got certifications. So Google and IBM offer widely recognized certifications, which can boost your resume and provide a structured learning environment. You have boot camps for those who prefer an immersive experience. Boot camps such as General Assembly and Springboard offer short-term intensive programs focused on practical AI skills. And self-study materials. So books like Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn, Keras, and TensorFlow. Free resources, my AI courses. We have a blog and podcasts available on our website. Google AI has a blog, and this is excellent for self-learners who want to dive deep into AI topics at their own pace. Now, I've included some recommendations on the resource sheet for your reference for beginner-friendly courses. And at my AI courses, our flagship How to Talk to AI course is designed for non-technical professionals looking to leverage AI in their daily work. And I've included a little snippet preview to just give you an idea as to what that course entails. Give it a second.
In this course, you will learn all about prompt engineering, what it is, and how to use the different prompt types and strategies to effectively interact with AI systems. We will also cover the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. We will discuss how AI is revolutionizing society. I'm looking forward to helping you become proficient in prompt engineering. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let's get started.
Okay, so moving on to putting together your learning plan. Now, in my experience, one of the keys to successfully learning anything, including AI, is having a structured and personalized learning plan. So I've put together some practical tips that I have successfully used to create my own learning plans, starting with assessing your starting point, right? So it's important to identify your current skill level and any gaps in your knowledge. So, for example, if you already have some exposure to coding or data analysis, you want to factor that into your plan, setting realistic goals. So break your learning into manageable milestones. For example, if you start with an introductory AI course, then move into hands-on projects after you've grasped the fundamentals. And you want to aim for consistent but flexible study sessions. So start with 30 minutes to an hour a day, adjusting based on your availability. The key is steady progress and not cramming. Because I know for me, if I cram, I don't learn anything. And also try using a blended approach. So you want to combine theory with practice. For every hour you spend learning concepts, try to spend an equal amount of time applying those concepts in real world scenarios or within your own projects. And join a community. We will take a bit of a deeper dive in the next section, but it is worth noting that this should also be a part of your learning plan. So I'm a project manager, as I mentioned. Tools that I've used for managing my learning plan include project management tools. I found Trello or Asana. Those are great tools for organizing tasks and tracking your progress. The Pomodoro method. This is a time management technique developed by Francesco Cirillo in the 1980s, and it involves breaking your learning into focused 25-minute intervals with short breaks in between to help you maintain your concentration. And a fun fact that I learned, this method is named after a kitchen timer, which is shaped like a tomato, which is Pomodoro in Italian. So have a nice little fun fact to take away with you. And journaling. So documenting what you've learned weekly helps reinforce your understanding of what you're learning. And then, of course, you can always utilize AI to help you create a personalized learning plan. So please feel free to take a screenshot of this prompt template. You can also include that as well in the email that goes out after the webinar as well. So with leveraging your existing skills, the great thing to know is that you don't have to start from scratch when learning AI. Many of the skills you've already developed in your current profession can accelerate your AI journey. So this is not an exhaustive list, but from my experience, these top four skills are foundational. So you have data analysis and critical thinking. If you have experience working with data, such as in finance or marketing, you already possess skills that are foundational to AI. Data-driven decision-making translates directly to working with AI models. And then you've got project management and problem-solving skills. Uh, Project managers can easily transition to overseeing AI-related projects by leveraging their organizational and problem-solving skills to define clear AI goals and oversee its implementation. And you've got coding and technical skills. So if you have basic programming skills, especially in Python or SQL, you are well positioned to advance quickly in AI by focusing on machine learning libraries like TensorFlow or scikit-learn. And marketing and communication. So AI is increasingly being used in customer segmentation and personalized marketing. These skills in understanding customer behavior and communication strategies, combined with AI tools, enhance any business's marketing efforts. So the good news is you don't need to pivot your entire career to integrate AI into your work. I've put down a few strategies to help you start applying AI skills in your current role today. Now, I always say start small. Start small with automation. Identify where there are repetitive, time-consuming tasks that could benefit from AI-powered tools like automation or data analysis. So for example, in some of my projects, I have successfully utilized AI-powered analytics to streamline reporting. Also, you want to familiarize yourself with AI tools that are free and readily available. I use AI tools to assist me with tasks such as scheduling, appointments, setting reminders, sending emails, generating templates or reports, and a lot more in real time. Also, they can provide valuable insights and suggestions, helping users make informed decisions. Now, if your company has an IT department or tech or dev teams, you want to initiate conversations about how AI can improve business operations. Express interest in working on AI-related projects, even if your role isn't technical. Now, once you understand AI's potential in your field or your role, propose new projects that can harness AI to optimize workflows, enhance decision-making, or improve the customer experience. And you can do this by looking for bottlenecks. Identify areas in your organization where processes are inefficient. These bottlenecks often present opportunities for AI implementation, such as automating manual data entry or using predictive analysis for demand forecasting. And pitch the idea to leadership. You want to present AI as a solution to business challenges. When it's backed with clear examples or case studies of how these AI tools can solve specific issues, put together a proposal that outlines the potential ROI. Now, as you integrate AI into your career, it's important to surround yourself with others in the field. So building those relationships with AI or IT professionals, they expose you to new ideas, trends, and opportunities. And as I mentioned earlier, joining a community is an integral part of your learning journey. In my experience, being a part of a network of professionals, learners, experts ready to collaborate, share insights, and support you on your learning journey makes the experience that much more enjoyable. And it certainly helped keep me motivated. So obviously you've got platforms like My AI Courses, AI for All, and Data Camp. They host communities where AI professionals and learners share insights, collaborate on projects, and provide mentorship. And also follow AI thought leaders. You've got social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Or you can join AI related groups, contribute to discussions on AI advancements. Sharing your learning journey also helps demonstrate your dedication to mastering AI. And again, consider attending events such as what you're doing today by being on this webinar. You've got AI conferences, meetups, events like the AI Summit or AI Con USA, and you can learn from industry experts, stay up to date on trends, expand your network at such events. One of the websites that I've personally used quite successfully is meetup.com. They often list AI meetups in various cities, so I would definitely recommend checking them out as well. So once you've gained some AI expertise, it's important to showcase it effectively, both in your professional documents, so your CV, portfolio, resume, and within your online presence as well. So you want to make sure to list specific tools or platforms you've worked with, such as Google Cloud AI, Tableau, TensorFlow, or if you've completed any AI certifications or courses, mention those under a skills or certification section on your CV or resume. Any personal projects or workplace initiatives, you want to add any AI related work to your LinkedIn profile and your resume or CV. And you want to focus on the impact of those projects, showcase how AI improved efficiency or accuracy in the tasks that you've managed. So when discussing your experience in interviews or work reviews, you want to be able to talk about how you integrated AI to solve problems or create efficiencies and focus on measurable outcomes. So for example, you could say, I used predictive analytics to improve sales forecasting by 20%, right? As well as explaining AI concepts. When you're in an interview or work review, you want to be able to explain these concepts clearly and simply. Many decision makers, many in leadership, may not have a technical background, so demonstrating your ability to translate AI's business value is key. And with AI being a rapidly evolving field, you want to make it clear that you're committed to continuous learning. So mentioning the courses you're taking or communities you're engaged with is also very helpful. So that kind of wraps up in a nutshell at a very kind of high level overview, some tips and insights based on my experience, based on my research, as to some of the skills that will be useful, some of this existing skills that you have, how they can be effectively used. And I hope you found it helpful. Before we dive into the Q&A, I did want to share that yes, I used AI tools today to prepare for this webinar, but I didn't just copy and paste from ChatGPT. As I mentioned before, I've combined my own expertise, knowledge, and resource with AI support. And the AI helped ensure my talking points were clear, concise, and aligned with the presentation's goals. And of course, I verified any AI output and tailored it to meet the objectives of this session. So I hope you found this helpful.
Thank you, Rachel. Wow, what a lot of amazing and useful information. I was making all sorts of notes, inspired by some of your know-how and these great tools that we can all sort of think about and use. There's a couple of questions in the chat, which I'd just like to ask if that's okay. So Andy, hello Andy, has asked how or can AI be used for coaching or mentoring processes? So what are your recommendations on those?
Now, when you say coaching, mentoring, are we talking about the trainer training other people? Are we talking about a coaching business? I think it.
So knowing Andy well, I think it's if you're a coach or a mentor to others and you're working through a piece of work with them systematically and meeting them regularly, is there any way that AI could help you to do that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I have successfully used AI in my kind of day-to-day. So where it has helped me is in templating, emails, reports. So if you have a coaching business or you're mentoring somebody, you might find some of the tasks you're completing are redundant or repetitive, and you can template those. You can say,
Right.
look, I have a client who has this skill level set. We'll be discussing these items, template me out like learning paths for them.
Okay.
There are emails that you might send out to your clients on a day-to-day basis. Where is there an opportunity to template some of those emails?
Okay, I see.
That nature as a start.
I see. Okay. So is there what tool exactly would you go to for that?
There are so many.
Okay. Would you be
There are
able
so
to give
many.
us just because I think for our coaches and our trainers and online educators, it's about, well, which tools can we go and use? Which ones can we find on the web?
So if you're utilizing like Microsoft 365, which is your Outlook, your Word, etc., Microsoft has Copilot built right into their systems, and it sits right within your screen, and you can use it side by side. So if you have your emails open, you can ask Copilot right within the chat, how do I word this better? Or add these reminders to my calendar, things like that, as you're working within the system. If you are utilizing Google, you have Google Gemini, which is their AI version of like a Copilot. And you can open that right within your window as well. So as you're working within these applications, you can ask it questions, check your grammar. Am I wording this correctly? Things of that nature. But if you wanted to get more kind of hands-on, have more of an interactive experience with AI, you've got tools like ChatGPT, which is OpenAI.
Familiar with,
have a free version. I use personally the paid version, ChatGPT Plus. It gives you a lot more bandwidth, the output is a bit more detailed and longer. So there are certain benefits with having the paid membership.
I
But you
see.
also have other applications like Claude AI, Anthropic,
Yeah.
utilize
Yeah.
as well. But I always say, if you are utilizing like a Microsoft or a Google, start with their native AI applications as a starter. It's free, it sits right within the application, and you can open it up no matter which program you're in.
Right, I see. Okay. Okay, that's a great tip. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I think we've got another question in. Do you have any particular programs or applications you'd recommend for creating online course content?
I would say when it comes to creating online course content, because I've done it, you want to, yes, it's great to utilize AI. I've used Chat GPT to help me put together my courses, but I've gone in with my own research, with my own objectives. This is what the course will talk about. These are the points that I want to make. This is the outline. This is the research I've put together. Does
Yeah.
this make sense? The way I've put the course together, is this, and these are the kind of questions or support that how you could utilize the AI. So you want to not go to the AI to say, create the course for me. You
Yeah.
want to go to the AI with the context of, I have the material, this is who my audience is, this is what we're trying to achieve with the course. Does what I have, does it make sense? Is it aligned? Is it clear? And you want to utilize the AI kind of as like a second pair of eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you are approaching a topic that maybe you don't have as much knowledge with
Yeah.
or on,
Yeah.
I would start with doing your basic research first,
Yeah.
and then going to the AI to say, again, does this make sense?
Yeah.
Knowing that I've got this limited amount of knowledge, how would I utilize that to make this a much more comprehensive course?
Yeah.
But you don't want to go and ask the AI for advice on something that you cannot verify yourself.
Yeah.
Because
And
as
I
I
think,
mentioned
that
before,
that picks up on our current stance as a CPD
yeah,
standards office on AI generated content.
yeah.
Because as part of our revised assessment processes, we are asking our providers to let us know and state how much of the course content has been generated by AI, and how it's been reviewed. So from our point of view, and I think perhaps Rachel, you would agree, because we've spoken to all sorts of industry experts, is you are the course trainer, you are the person that knows about this area. AI is the journalist, it will give you some ideas, but ultimately you are the editor.
Exactly.
Would you agree with that sentiment?
I would, absolutely. And another thing that has always, and maybe because I'm old school and I have a very youthful appearance, but I come from an era where there were libraries and library cards before all of this,
Yeah, yeah,
technology came into place. We had, the old school encyclopedias. We had
yeah.
to learn how to research, gather information, put it together, and make it make sense. So I always say you want to look at AI as a tool. It
Yeah,
is not this all-knowing technology. The AI very much relies on you giving it the context,
yeah,
for the material that you're presenting it with. So if you're going in blind, the AI is just going to generate all kinds of nonsense, and you're not going to know what any of it means or how to verify it. So you want to go to the AI with a clear plan, with clear objectives, with content, with your own research, so that you can verify what it's saying back to you, or what it's giving back to you is indeed true.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally concur with that. And, you know, as Josepha, hi Josepha, has pointed out, you know, you need to compare and contrast Gemini with Claude AI, and you need to look at the accuracy and the validity, and look at, you know, this information, as you say, it has been created and curated by these large language models, but are they correct? I know that when I was doing some research earlier in the summer and I was looking for some recommendations and asked ChatGPT, they gave me, or it gave me, about 10 different references to go and have a look at, and every single one of them was fake. It had just, you know, looked at who could author it, what it could be, etc., etc. So I think we can't trust these tools. They're helpful, but they're not the ultimate solution for us at the moment.
And if the AI does generate some output and you say, I wonder where this come from, just ask it. Say, cite your sources. And once it cites something, you go, you verify, is this actually indeed a you know, reputable resource that I would want to use and say, you know, this is where it came from. And again, like I said, you know, I date from an era where we had to do our own research and cite our own sources. So I always come with my own research, you know.
Okay, and then one final comment from Kim, because we are due to wrap up, and it's following on from her question about course content. And so Kim, you've said that you asked the question around creating course content because you come across a program that builds the content with I can't even say it, you can tell it's a Monday, AI generated people. I don't really like it, but what are your thoughts? And I think we have seen this, haven't we? We have seen AI generated trainers, quite robotic, but very real, talking to the camera. So what are your thoughts on that, Rachel, as a course creator yourself?
Well, I personally, within on our own platform, we do not use AI avatars. I again come from a different age. I like a more human touch. I want to show my face, as you saw in our preview. I'm in, you know, recording all of our course materials. So it's not my personal preference. But if you do not want to use your face, you can go the route of going sans an AI avatar and just using your voice. And they do have the AI, like where you speak a few words and it clones your voice. So if you don't want to do all of the voiceover work, that is, you know, another option. If you do go down that AI avatar route, you've got some fantastic things being done right now with image to video creation. Runway AI is one that you've seen it all over, like the news, how they're taking a still image and turning it into video. You do have to pay
Yeah, of course.
for that
Yeah.
premium kind of, you know, access. They do have free access, but it's very limited. A lot of it, you go into them now and you can't get anything generated. You have to pay for the membership. So you can do things like that where you would take an image of yourself and run it through like a Runway AI, and you can do like a 5-second snippet. So there are ways to kind of use real, like your voice, images of yourself, and, you know, kind of bypass that avatar. Again, as I said, it's not my personal preference. I don't like the whole kind of robotic, you know, situation. But that technology is advancing as well. So in the next 6 months, you know, you could completely clone yourself and, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And some of it is there already, but it would, I think if you don't have, you know, kind of the coding experience or understanding as how to use those platforms, you might not be in a space to fully utilize it as of yet. Or if you did want to go faceless, I would say you could start with cloning your voice
Yeah.
And
We've got a few comments in the chat here that, and I'm really conscious of time, so we must wrap up, that a lot of our trainers, Josetha and Kim, you know, they're really uncomfortable with the idea of AI generated trainers at the moment.
yeah.
And I think it, you know, speaking on behalf of our community, I think it is that, you know, a concern for a community that does pride itself on, you know, being authentic, making sure that the job is done properly, as a course author and as a presenter. But I feel, you know, these the technologies are moving on and they are happening, and we need to look at the way that we can make best use of them. You know, ChatGPT 18 months ago was a revolution, and we're using that. So I think, you know, we will see these changes, and it's about making sure that your voice and your course and your education is as authentic as it can be.
And one thing I will say, Amanda, even as the technology is advancing and you do see more courses using these AI avatars, what could possibly set you apart, like what sets us apart, is the human approach.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Yeah.
having that human voice. So you don't necessarily have to hop on every single bandwagon or follow every trend. You could be utilizing AI in the back end in putting your content together, your learning courses together. But from a front end facing bit, if the whole AI avatar thing isn't your thing, then don't do it. You know, keep that human approach, keep that human touch. People might go out there and say, actually, I want to see a human being.
Yeah,
Rather than,
yeah.
you know what
No,
I
I
mean?
agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to wrap up. It's been a great session. You know, there's everybody is saying thank you, and we really appreciate your time this morning, Rachel, and your valuable advice and expertise.
Yeah.
So as I said at the beginning, everyone, we will be circulating the slides and the recording and Rachel's PDF, which gives you some more information and a code to use her services. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great week. I hope this has been good CPD for you. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next CPDSO webinar next month.